we were told to always be like low key, you know, chill, never be loud, just quiet, polite, right? And of course, it might have has helped us in some areas, but we forgot how it felt to be real. We forgot how to actually be seen and not be invisible as hell. Because most of my life, I have been that guy who tried to get other people's approval, validation, and attention. And I thought that I just needed to be more polite or more nice. But the more I tried that, the worse it got. People never remembered me. I was the guy who was just not in that group and in the background, right? And it's crazy. It's crazy when you look back and realize that life can change a lot. And back to this video, right? Um, Understanding that always being a humble guy, the guy who is low key and chill, it's not gonna help you, bro. It's not gonna help you have that spark, that aggressive thing that you really want to go after, or have that deep connection that you really want. And if you felt like unseen as hell, that nobody sees you for you, then this video might be for you. Because when you actually really realize that the reason why you might be feeling invisible as fuck might be because your parents, actually, because they were the people who told us to be respectful, to be polite, to be disciplined, and all those things has conditioned us to be where we are. We're always quiet, not expressive at all, not saying the truth that we want to say. But of course, here's the subtle thing that people almost forget is that they start blaming this, realizing that okay, it might be my parents who raised me the way that I am, and people are stuck in this fucking paradigm or this way of thinking that shit, it's my parents, fuck my parents. But that's also a fucking trap. It's a trap that people most often don't realize. That when you blame people, when you blame some circumstance, an event, or a person, you automatically give the responsibility or the power to that thing. So you become automatically a victim guy, a victim to that thing, to the person, to the event, to the fucking circumstance. Now realizing that it might be your parents that conditioned you that way of living that life, but you have the power to take it back. You have the power to condition the way you want, the way you want to feel, the way you want to fucking want to express, and be real. Because now you realize that being polite and humble and nice was a defensive mechanism that you built up to stop hiding that versions of you who want to be fucking seen. And here's the biggest thing that I realized from my story, that being seen, being seen as that guy, having that fucking spotlight, seeing other people seeing you as that fucking guy can be scary. It's not fucking fun. Because your whole life you were seen as the guy who was quiet and everything, and all of a sudden when you step out from that comfort zone, step out from that identity, you're of course gonna feel fear, you know, of course gonna feel like shit, this is not me, you're gonna feel like cringe and all that shit. But on the other side, there's this freedom of you, this authentic you, this version of you who can just shine out, who can connect with deeply, who's just charismatic, genuine, and real as fucking fuck. And now you might be thinking, how the fuck did you do it? Because here's the thing, I still sometimes get into this pocket of sometimes being polite, but I come back really quick and be that version of me. So, how to do that? You might need to start embracing parts of you have disowned. Parts of you have been told from your parents, from your teacher, from your friends that it's unacceptable. The parts of you that you think might be really bad. Maybe being too loud wasn't acceptable in your household. Maybe being too creative, being too open, being funny, being just like giggly as a fucking kid wasn't acceptable to that fucking parent. And they shamed you. And that's why You don't feel like lively. You don't have fun. You always has this fucking serious face. Everything I'm telling you right now was my fucking story. So if you connect, then hey man, I got you, bro. I get what you mean. I totally feel how you're feeling. Now, of course, like going through this process takes a hell of fucking time, and of course, it's not easy at all. Like embracing those parts of you who you think are bad as fuck, or other people think is bad as fuck, is gonna be like life and death situation feeling. Here's the thing: it's just a fucking feeling that you're avoiding, a feeling you have been disowning. And when you start owning that fucking feeling, you're gonna automatically gonna feel expressive as hell. You don't have to fucking remember some scripts or say some words to some people or do this or do that. None of that bullshit. Because that's just the superficial stuff. You're not working on the main thing, the main root that's causing all this shit. So, the easiest way, I won't say easiest, but the simplest way to change this thing where people just forget you feel invisible as fuck, is to embrace parts of you have disowned. The parts of you who's aggressive, the parts of you who speaks the truth, who draws the boundary, the version of you who says the truth, express himself. You gotta start embodying that version with the politeness, with being kind. Not nice because you wanna get their attention, their validation, that's why being nice. No, because for you. It always starts with the relationship with yourself. The way you relate to yourself, that's how people relate to you. If you think you're a fucking dumbass, if you think you are fucking undeserving, people are gonna fucking treat you like that. It's fucking energy, bro. The vibe you have. That's how fucking people relate. I know you might be saying I'm fucking screaming at you, but I'm just talking to myself. I'm just talking to that version of me who had to go through this shit. But if you really deeply relate to this, bro, then I'm telling you, bro, this is it. Own that part of you and see how far you go. It's not gonna be easy, but it's gonna be fulfilling and the best thing that that version of you will ask for. And if you really relate to this video, I have a link in the description, in the description, right? About my IG. You can text me there, we can talk there and see if you're compatible or not, to see if you really want to get out of this feeling of always being lonely when you're connected with people. You never have this deep connections, or you just feel anxious to talk to people. You can't even go there and show up and have that first break. If you have that, let's talk and see how I can help you. Alright, take care.